Finish him off! Finish him off!
He's calling for it!
This is it! This is it! Your career's on the line here! Do it! Do it! This place will erupt when he picks him up!
He's got him up! Oh, hell yeah! 1, 2, 3!
Thank you! We've got a new heavyweight champion!
Climb the ladder, kid! Make yourself famous! I just had an out-of-body experience! What did we just see? What did we just see? He got him a power slam! He got him a power slam! He got it! Simmons got it! Simmons has won the match! Simmons is a champion!
I've always maintained that reality is for people who can't face drugs.
Shit is about to get real.
You get shit, knee deep. Shit.
Look at the stare of the champion against the challenger.
What?
And now, Straight Talk Society presents Wrestling with Reality.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
It's going to be the biggest battleground in the history of our sport. The biggest match in pro wrestling history.
The two biggest superstars in our sport in the biggest event the sport has ever seen. The biggest match in the history of our sport.
Trying to run a little scalded dog here. Enough is enough. That's enough. No! Oh, God, that's enough! Stop it! Man, listen. Marriage tougher than a $2 steak. Who is your daddy? Who's your daddy, Undertaker? Slam! Toe slam! Who's your daddy, Undertaker? Lucifer's lips on the biggest size in the WWE! Somebody stop this! Somebody stop the damn match! Enough's enough!
What?
The irresistible force meeting the immovable object.
Santa's got it real. Woo!
WWE Dynamite.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? It's time. Let's rock.
I can't do it. We'll do it live.
So escape from reality?
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
I am reality.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Oh, it's live, pal.
Let the slaughter begin! It is now time for
With reality.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Junior, look at this.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
number one to be the man, baby! You have to beat the man! Heavyweight champion of the world. The time is now. Reality has become the present, and the final lesson of the pain game has begun. Have you ever heard a joke like that in your life?
You are gonna wrestle my ass for the world title. You will have to kill me to keep me from killing you. Woo!
The 90s have been referred to as the reckoning with truth. In the 80s, everything was clouded. Nobody ever told the truth. In the 90s, the way to go is flat out. Tell no lies. That's the way we're gonna do it. When you hear something from our lips, truth it may be, and as much as it may hurt, you can count on it being exactly the way that it is.
We want the gold, sucker! Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga!
Oh, what is up, Straight Talk Society? This is your host, Trevor, and I'm back with another episode of Wrestling with Reality. Keela, let me get a sound check right quick before I go on any further. Oh my goodness, man. We are back. We are back. We are back. This is the month of August, and we're back at full steam ahead, streaming these shows for you and things like that. Today is our SummerSlam review. So we did do a live watch along to the main event from SummerSlam this past Saturday, and I really, really thank the over 4,000 views that we got on that. Hopefully you guys turn out to the proper review, but nevertheless, we do appreciate you guys for coming in. Hold on, let me turn this down because I don't like interruptions while I'm streaming. So real quick though, before we get into the show, producer extraordinaire Venkat is he won't be in today. He is under the weather. He wasn't on Tape Fist Politics last night, but he was producing from the back, and they had an amazing show. And you know, over here on the Straight Talk Society, we have so many different hitters. Normally, Wrestling with Reality is a 3-man booth. So the other co-host is here, though, the political prophet amongst men, MD. What's going on, MD?
Peace. What's going on? What's happening?
I can't call it. Hold on. Let me. Yeah, so MD is here in the building. And, you know, we could rock out with a 2-man booth. I mean, we could rock out with 2-man booth. Historically, wrestling does rock out with 2-man booths. But I thought it'd be very fun that since producer extraordinaire Venkat is down, that I call in my pinch hitter. So tonight, making her debut on Wrestling with Reality is the princess of the Straight Talk Society. Will be can never fill Venkat's seat, but will be stepping in to give her commentary over the SummerSlam card that we just watched. So Straight Talk Society, please give a warm welcome to the princess of the society, Princess Leia. What's going on?
Good.
Can't hear you.
Good.
Y'all let me know if y'all can hear her. She's gun shy, even though she's not going to be on the camera, but for some reason she doesn't want to talk into the mic. So just let me know if you can hear her talking. Did you hear her, MD?
Yeah. She came in loud and clear.
Okay. No, you just need to talk regular. So it's so funny behind the scenes with little kids. She told me, she was like, man, she said, man, this intro was long. Kids are crazy, man. Shout out to Keela in the building, best moderator in the business. Shout out to Johnny Fair in the building. I was in the dog pound for SummerSlam. Oh man, that's awesome. You were actually at SummerSlam. So if you wanted a bunch of 5-star matches, not the show for you. If you were looking for a fun show, this was the one. Okay, Johnny Fair, that's great that you said that, because I don't know if you're familiar with this channel, but I am not the guy that's I don't care about your 10-star matches and all of that. I'm more storyline driven, and I want to be entertained. Bryan Danielson's going to wrestle Swerve, and it might be the match of the year, but I bet you after that match, there'll be zero progression. So I just want to be entertained. So MD, before we get into the SummerSlam card, there is one story that I do want to go over. Let me bring it up because I found this very interesting. I think news broke last week that Mark Henry's son, Jacob Henry, has signed with the WWE. He posted a video on Twitter or YouTube, I think it was, that he has signed the contract with the WWE. Now, to my understanding, he's still in school, but he's a football player, a wrestler, and things like that. So firstly, on this signing, do you think this had anything to do with Mark Henry not re-signing with AEW?
It's a possibility. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a possibility. I mean, we had the situation with William Regal, and him wanting to work along with forward and his son. So I mean, it's a possibility. I don't know like too much about like his son and what he's done in school or whatnot. From what I heard, yeah, he was still in college playing football or whatnot. Oh, I don't know much about him. Mark Henry is known for bringing in talent though, so take that for what it's worth. And I mean, if you're working with his son, I can only assume he's getting the utmost of attention when it comes to getting them ready. I figure, if it's true, like he'll be in developmental for a while, like even pre NXT, working promo school and stuff like that before you even see anything about him. So I say it'll probably be a couple years before we even like see him, if that's the case.
Because it's my understanding that he's only 18.
Oh, okay. So yeah. It's either he's still in high school or he's a freshman in college. I don't know.
Yeah, I forget which college he goes to, but yeah, he absolutely is in college. But I just thought it was weird though that Mark Henry, because everybody talked about how great AEW is and how great it is to work for Tony Khan, but his first opportunity when his contract was up, he was like, "All right, I'm gone." And then you see this news that his son signs with WWE, and at SummerSlam we saw Arn Anderson. Then you see the photos circulating with Arn Anderson and Brock Anderson with Triple H. This is not me crapping on AEW, but AEW is what it is. It's I'm not gonna say it's the minor leagues, but it's nowhere in the stratosphere of what the WWE is, and you're seeing all these legends are coming home. Like basically, these guys are coming home. I wouldn't be.
Brock Anderson was a jobber in AEW. Let's keep it real.
Yeah, I don't listen. I don't want to see Brock. I don't want to see Brock Anderson on my television at all. I'm just saying, to see Arn Anderson back, because Arn Anderson should have never not been with the WWE. We know that was a Vince McMahon thing, and that was during, because of the if I'm not mistaken, he was the producer when I think it was Alicia Fox must have had the alcohol issue. So they let him hold the bag for that. But it's very interesting. I'm curious to see if he'll be doing anything with Cody. Let's see what Johnny Fair says. Johnny Fair says it's no coincidence. Mark Henry goes back, and like 2 weeks later, his son gets signed. Yeah. Mark Henry has enormous value to the company, and I'm amazed that AEW don't utilize that cat. Spots talent from a mile away. He's the one who got Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. Like, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. But again, we know Tony Khan is a buffoon. So lastly, before we move on to the SummerSlam card, because I don't think we need to be here too long. What do you think about the rumors of Shane McMahon going to AEW, and what do you think it's going to do?
I mean, I'm not going to call it a power play, but I definitely see Tony Khan like pushing it like hard, because that's the type of person that Tony Khan is. As far as Shane, and if he initiated it or not, I don't believe so. I feel like Shane possibly feel like he was wrong when the whole situation with him in WWE. I mean, but for him to make a concerted effort to get with Tony Khan, I mean, I don't believe that. I just don't. We'll see if anything comes of it. It'll be nice to see, and I can definitely see Shane being in a entertainer role, not anything behind the scenes, or you know what I'm saying. It'll be a nice little storyline. I can definitely see them possibly trying to replay the WCW angle some type of way, or aligning him with the Elite. I mean, it'll be a good storyline. But
yeah,
do I see? Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I was about to say they need an authority figure.
Right. So yeah, I mean, the stuff that the Young Bucks are doing right now, it kind of makes sense, but it'll look better with an actual person that can be perceived as an authority figure. So I agree with that. So yeah, if you want to put him in a talent role to do something like that, I ain't got no issue with it. I just don't.
Do you think this is a play that, okay, our TV rights deal is coming up, so we could get optimal dollar and the best deal for AEW going forward to have a McMahon on the roster? Because I'm going to tell you, it'll be good for the first month. It'll be just like everybody else. It'll just be like when they brought Edge in. It'll be just like when Jericho came in. It'll be just like when Mercedes came in. It'll last exactly a month, and then nobody will care afterwards.
Yeah, I don't think Warner Discovery give a damn if it's Shane McMahon. I don't even think they taking that into consideration with them discussing the new deal. I've also heard, just to caveat off of that, I've heard that the talks have stopped. Now I don't know if that means that they done came to an agreement or it's at a lull right now. I don't know. But I don't see Shane McMahon like being a advantageous person to get something done. I just don't. I mean, the McMahon name, I think to Warner Discovery ain't that deep. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's Shane McMahon.
The only McMahon that'll move numbers
Vince.
in AEW has to be Vince, and then they'd have to eat a lot of crow because of all the crap they talked about Vince. Johnny Fair says WWE told Shane no thanks. I did hear that he wanted to come back, and they were just like, nah, we got nothing for you right now. So he's saying, I honestly don't believe he has any intentions of going to AEW. He's just playing his hand. So yeah, he might be trying to play the two sides against each other, but we'll see how that story progresses. So let's get into the SummerSlam card, because when you're dealing with little kids, they get antsy. So they want to get their stuff in. She like her daddy. She want to get her stuff in. So let's go to SummerSlam in Cleveland. Just real quick, MD, what did you think about the show overall before we get into any matches?
I think it was a fun show. It was fun. You know what I'm saying? And again, I agree with exactly what Jonathan said. It wasn't a card where we had great matches, but they moved angles forward, and that's key. Not only that, they are inspired to do new angles based off of us having 4 championship changes. That it was a fun show. I guess we wait for the scores, but it was fun.
When was the last time you saw 4 titles change like at a WWE event? That's crazy.
It's been a minute.
That's crazy. So Lil Mama, what did you think about SummerSlam overall?
I liked it a lot. I just liked it.
So you just liked it. I mean, that's all. Sometimes
matches were good. I don't have a real favorite, but they were all good.
All right, that's cool. Can y'all hear her? I just want to make sure. Okay. Yeah, that's
she clear.
Hey, sometimes you don't need a lot of words. You can just you make your points nice and concise. Shout out to Bones in the building. It was okay. Of course, he's gonna say it was an okay show because he's gonna bring his AEW bias in there. But nevertheless, let's get into the card. So we did have the opening match. The opening match for the WWE Women's World Heavyweight title. Liv Morgan taking on the returning Rhea Ripley. I know you. Okay, so you got your notes right here. So go ahead. What was your thoughts on this match?
I liked the match because the way they had Dominic turn on Rhea, and I was thinking that because I knew that Dominic would have to turn on Rhea for Liv because she was always beating him up before he joined Judgment Day. So, and yeah, but I thought Jey Uso would come out to say Rhea, and yeah, I got disgusted when Rhea popped her arm back into the socket. That was just gross.
All right, so we got this match. Hey, you only get this analysis over here where I could get a 9-year-old to break down wrestling just as good as anybody on the outside. So this match, I thought this match was great. I'm gonna say this, and I feel me and MD share the same sentiment. Liv Morgan has come a long way. I mean, I think I was telling Ricardo, Liv Morgan should have been fired when they fired oh God, what's her name? What's the girl
Ruby
that
Riott.
Bone says, yeah, Bone says is the most unattractive woman in wrestling. So that's Ruby Riott. They fired Ruby Riott and Sarah Logan, and Liv should have been fired with her. Because Liv's in-ring work was no good. But they kept her around, and I my contention is they kept her around because of how she looks, which, I mean, it is what it is. But she has gotten a tremendous character. Like, this character is great, because in a match like this, you got a badass like Rhea Ripley facing somebody that she's twice the size of. How can you make me believe that Liv has a chance in hell? And they did it with Bones is saying great selling by Rhea selling the arm, which Venkat swears that was a legit injury. It wasn't. She just was selling it so good. She made you believe.
Yes.
I thought the match was great, man. And Dominic Mysterio, I keep saying, is one of the best heels in wrestling. And whenever I see him, I'm like, man, just the heat magnet. He is an absolute heat magnet. And it's crazy that this kid we thought should have been in NXT, they've shot him right up to the main roster, and he has been fantastic. And now Judgment Day now has legs to run at least 2 more years, because they were starting to get a little stale. So we do see the turn came with Rhea Ripley going to use a chair. Dom pulls a chair from her, but still, him being a slime ball, it didn't look like he was turning on her. It was more so like, hey, if you hit her with the chair, you're going to get disqualified. So he's still playing into the fact that, hey, I'm still with you. He ends up putting the chair in the ring for Liv to hit the Oblivion on. And then, so before we get to the closing shot of the match, what did you think of the match overall, MD?
This was my second favorite match of the night. This match was great. It told the story. It pushed the story forward. Now, originally, to Venkat's point, I did think that she had knocked her shoulder out of socket. But I started to think about it. I'm like, man, Rhea Ripley, her lats, her shoulders are incredibly big. So you can make it look a certain way if you flex it a certain way. So that just lets you know how great Rhea is. You know what I'm saying? Liv Morgan has set herself up to be the top female heel on Raw. That's just what it is.
Yes.
And again, to your point, from what she used to be when she used to wear the suspenders and the tight, she's cute, but that's all she was. You know what I'm saying? The maturation of how she developed as a wrestler is great. And now she has the ultimate crutch in Dom to make her look even better. It's phenomenal storytelling. That first Oblivion that she hit looked brutal. Like Rhea sold that. She
yes.
I said, wow. That first Oblivion, it hit. And again, to the point with Dom, it played directly into what he wanted to do to make the match go forward with, selling, hey, you're going to get DQ'd if you hit her. Ultimately, he didn't want her to hit Liv. So it played directly into it. And I'll say, by the way, as a sidebar, that promo with Damian Priest and the Judgment Day in the back was phenomenal. Showing the new look Judgment Day.
You're talking about the SummerSlam one or the one from Raw?
No, I'm talking about the one from Raw.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh man, they oh my goodness. If we got time, I want to touch on Raw, because I thought this Monday Night Raw was phenomenal. I mean, my goodness, did they come back with a banger for this Monday Night Raw? What, you got anything else on this match before we move forward?
Since y'all talking about Raw, I'm just gonna say Raw was amazing because I just wanted to watch it to see what Judgment Day drama would happen.
That's all she kept asking me. She like, we're sitting there watching it. She's like, when is the Judgment Day? What did you ever think we'd live in a time where people are asking to see Judgment Day segments? The way they turn Damian Priest to a legit babyface. So here's my last thing on this match, though. So Rhea Ripley did end up losing because of the Oblivion on the chair, which was a great spot. So this is my thing. They're doing to Rhea what they need to do to Bianca Belair. Because when you look at it, Bianca Belair is the most physical. Well, now you got Jade, so Jade is more physical than her, but they should be killing everybody. But you have to make the fan, there has to be a comeback for them. Bianca can't be beating up everybody. And Rhea dominated for like a year where it was just like, you never had to see her fight from behind. It's like, okay, next person up. Rhea's going to beat him. She's going to beat Nia Jax. She's going to beat Piper Niven. She's like, it didn't matter who you put up to her. Rhea was going to beat her. Now you have a dastardly heel. Now you have a whole heel factory that is, now she has something to fight for. So now it's going to make me want to see her more. And the only other thing they could do is break that emergency glass and bring Charlotte Flair back, but you don't need to do that. Now Rhea is fighting from behind, and now I want to cheer her. Now she's a real babyface. She already has the coolest look in the world. Now I could cheer her. Now she's not coming out beating up everybody, but when she does come out, she means business, just like Damian Priest. Like you see Damian Priest is a badass. I wish he would stop wearing that top and just come out shirtless. But that's another thing. But when he comes out, he means business now. He just means business. So that's my thing with them. So at the end, Rhea's looking crazy, not knowing what's going on, and Dom seals it with a kiss. It was a ruse the whole time. Like, it was a ruse the whole time. I loved it, man. Y'all know how I feel about stories. I was telling y'all this was my match of the night for a major portion of the show, just because I love a good story. To me, you'll beat a 5-star match any day. It will. One of my favorite matches of all time is Macho Man versus Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 7. That might be like in my top 5, top 3, if anything. That match wasn't good. That match was nothing to write home about, but the storytelling in that match and the emotion that match was able to draw out of you, here it is, damn near 30 years later. I still remember that. I can't remember anything that happened in the past 2 5-star matches. You see what I'm saying? But that's just how I watch wrestling. So, Princess, what did you think about the kiss at the end?
In my mind, it was like from when like Raw happened to go, like the Raw when Liv Morgan kissed him, it was like she purposely kissed him. Then now Dom's purposely kissing her. And I was just disgusted.
You were grossed out.
I hate seeing people kiss.
Oh, okay. You know that's how you got here, right?
Okay, that's just even gross. That's gross there.
Any final words on this one, MT?
That's funny. Yeah, man. Again, this was great storytelling, and the fact that Liv sold it as if she was oblivious to I guess this was the culmination of Dom finally accepting the fact that that's what we wanted. You know what I'm saying? So it set up Judgment Day to elongate its relevance, because for a minute, with Carlito coming there, and it wasn't looking too good, because everybody was wondering, okay, what's up with Damian Priest? Now they got a story to go behind, which is great. So yeah, it was a great match, man. It was great for what it was in pertaining to the story.
So Johnny Fair, and I can't move on from this because of this comment that Johnny Fair just put in, because now I just had to feel like I had to talk about this. He says, I love a justifiable heel. Liv is justified in going at Rhea. There has to be a reason for being bad other than for the sake of being bad. So this whole Judgment Day, I put on Twitter on Monday, I said, you know what? the Judgment Day is making a hell of a case for what they're doing. When Finn Balor started laying out the facts, he said that I've been thinking about this for a year. And he showed the photo and he was like, hey, when you attempted to cash in on me, you told me to man up. He said, so now I had to deal with that for a whole year because I was trying to fight for the world title. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, damn, boy, the Judgment Day is making a lot of sense. JD McDonough, he told Priest, he said, you never wanted me in the Judgment Day. Like you were the one always trying to fight for me not to be in it. He said, you never liked me from the beginning. So there's no issue for me turning on you. Look, man, listen, man, a good story. I always say, just make it make sense. Literally, you could do anything in wrestling. Just make it make sense. Give me a reason as to why it happened. And I'm all in. So what do you think about
long-term booking? Long-term booking. That's what it is.
What did you think about that though? Like on Raw, where him bringing up that picture, I'm like, and what was great about it? He brought up an actual photo, like a hard copy physical photo. I popped for that. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. To me, it was the best promo of that incredible show. Like, and it solidified Judgment Day, and with a whole new look. Him talking about no leaders, and you know what I'm saying, the stuff that Damian Priest been doing, bro. It was incredible. Now I'm a Judgment Day fan. I'm probably gonna end up getting a shirt, whatever new shirt they got.
Yeah.
So man, and Finn is finally getting a top angle. You know what I'm saying? Finally. Now he just need a proper title run, and I'll be fine. When that's gonna happen, I don't know.
That's what I want. I'm so happy that now Finn is gonna get. Man, the storytelling on Raw was fantastic. So we'll just have to weave Raw in and out of here. So let's go on to the next match. This was a 7-match card. You had something else to add?
Oh, we were still doing the Limor.
Yeah, I just had to add something else to it. Go ahead.
No, I wasn't gonna say. I was trying to ask what match it was.
Oh, okay. So the next matchup, which I didn't realize this match was only 5 minutes. That's crazy. They've been doing 5-match cards on the past few pay-per-views. This was a 7-match. I hate that this was the match that only got 5 minutes, but the outcome was never in doubt for me. Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn versus Bron Breakker. Sami Zayn did end up losing, and all I can say about that is it was the right decision. To me, Sami Zayn is a bona fide Hall of Famer, and Sami Zayn, and I'm going to get into this later, but to me, Sami Zayn is better chasing. I'm okay with him having a short title run. I don't need to see these guys have a long title run. We're going to get to somebody later that I think should never lose a belt, but I'm saying for like guys like Sami Zayn, the money in them is when you have a dominant heel and you heat them up and they win. So Gunther hadn't lost in seemingly like 2 years. You heat Sami Zayn up, he was the one to win. Fantastic storyline. He held the belt for like 4 months. Big deal to me. I'm good. I saw the title run. I'm good. MD, what'd you think about this one?
Oh yeah, I agree with you. It was the right outcome. Again, this goes back to me saying now we're seeing new stars, arise in WWE, and it's pretty much Bron Breakker's time. You know what I'm saying? Now we get to see people challenging him and having incredible matches. You know what I'm saying? Do I think he's gonna be as dominant as Gunther? No, nobody's ever gonna top that. But at the very least, it propels another star, just like it did Gunther. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be fun to see his run in terms of the people that they put against him. That's what I'm most excited about. Matches. I can only see like matches with him and Sheamus. You know what I'm saying?
Oh Jesus!
This is Bron Breakker's time to shine, and with him having the IC title, it puts validity on that. So let him rock out for a little minute, showcase him, and then eventually he'll be in the world title spotlight anyway. So this was the perfect way to do it.
You know what I totally agree, man. He is the guy is awesome. You know what I love about this though? is they didn't wait on it. How many times have we been like, oh my goodness, man, when are they going to do this? You know, it's like at the expense of like, and I don't want to come off like I'm disrespecting them, because I'm not. Sami Zayn is awesome, but at the expense of Sami Zayn, you don't not put a Bron Breakker over. Bron Breakker is the future of this industry. Sami Zayn has a job as long as he wants. He could be the new Sheamus. You could heat him up whenever you need to, but you don't need to protect Sami Zayn at the expense of a Bron Breakker, because Bron Breakker is a generational wrestler. I can't wait until we get Brock Lesnar coming out to challenge him. I think that's what I'm waiting on now. It's like Brock Lesnar versus Bron Breakker. Like I want that, man. Give me that. That's what I want. What you got on this match, little mama?
Okay, so I think, in my opinion, I think Sami Zayn should have held the belt for a little, like had it until Bash at Berlin.
Why?
Because I mean, like, he got the belt at WrestleMania, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was a couple of months ago.
That was 4 months ago.
So, like, he could have had it for a little bit longer. Just a little bit.
Fair enough.
Bron Breakker hasn't been in as many storylines as Sami Zayn. So, Sami Zayn is, like, can have more storylines with that belt.
Y'all see what's going on here? I started watching wrestling when I was 5 years old. I had her starting to watch when she was like 2. So I am legit building a mini version of me. This is
pretty much.
This is making me cry on the inside a little bit. So pardon me.
That's incredible, man. Hey, my kids got ADHD, bro. They move on to one thing. Hey, bro, that's incredible.
A little girl version of you.
Pardon me if I get a little choked up, man. But man, like this is crazy. So this is I love this too. Let me see if I have it. So there was a video going around of the Steiner brothers up in the suite reacting when Bron Breakker won the title, man. I love to see that, man. Just first of all, having the Steiner brothers there. I mean, celebrating one of the best tag teams ever. But for Rick Steiner to see his son on, competing probably the biggest audience he's ever competed in front of, is awesome, because you always want to see your kids do better than you. And I think Bron Breakker absolutely is going to be better than Rick Steiner. And that's no slight on Rick Steiner. I just wish they'd let him use the Steiner name and not the Breakker. I mean, if he uses Steiner, that'll be great.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree, and I like the attire Bron Breakker had. How he was paying homage to like the old Steiner, and then he had the white on the right, like the Big Papa Pump white. That was tight.
What do you think about his top rope Frankensteiner?
We talked about this on the I believe we talked about this on the watch along. To me, it's not better than the original Frankenstein. It's just not. The original Frankensteiner, he had his thighs literally, it was a leg scissor basically. And then he flipped over. The way Bron Breakker does it is like it's a Hurricane Rana. A Hurricane Rana is not a Frankenstein. You know what I'm saying? It's two different things.
Yeah,
he can do it better. I guess he got to go, talk to Scott and work. I don't know. But it ain't no issue. It's just not a Frankenstein.
So shout out to Poke Beast, Roaring Demon. Let me get that comment I saw from Johnny Fair. Johnny Fair says storytelling is why Punk and Drew was my favorite match of the night. They didn't do a lot of work wise, but they didn't have to. This was only chapter 1. I agree with you. 100%. I love that match. I loved that match. That was the match that's the match that I was looking forward to the most. And CM Punk hadn't wrestled since the Royal Rumble. They had me so invested again because of storytelling. They need to call this storytelling slam. instead of SummerSlam, because this
Right.
was a night. This was just a night of storytelling. Like this was one of Triple H's most masterful booking. Like everybody always was like, "Oh my God, when Vince McMahon is gone, the company's going to be in terrible hands." No. Triple H knows wrestling. I'm pretty sure Triple H was like, "Damn, bro, you can't do this stupid stuff that you're doing." And it's just crazy. And when we get to the world title, I want to talk about something that had happened on Monday Night Raw, because y'all know I pop for that because it's just continuity, storyline continuity. Just make it make sense. Make it make sense.
I loved all these matches.
So let's get on to the next match. For the United States title, you had Cleveland's own Logan Paul taking on LA Knight.
Yeah.
Y'all know I'm a huge LA Knight fan. So when LA Knight won the title, I popped huge. LA Knight will never be the workman of the year. He's not a mechanic, he's not a technician, but what he is an act that's over as hell, and he can get the crowd going. Now, I do agree with Venkat. Y'all mark the tape. This is one of them times I'm gonna agree with Venkat. Johnny Fair said, "Don't call tomorrow." I'm gonna agree with Venkat. LA Knight has no comeback, and I remember Venkat said this in the Roman Reigns match. And when I went back and watched it, I'm like, yeah, you know what? He does it. You know how Cody will just fire up and he'll hit Cody cutters and crossroads. And he do all type of stuff. He'll do the fall down punch. He'll do the dusty elbow. LA Knight doesn't have a comeback at all. But I think, I don't know if he needs one. Logan Paul is so hated that, the crowd was going to be for LA Knight regardless. So, MD, what was your thoughts on this match, little mama? Hold on. What was your thoughts? Go ahead.
I loved it because LA Knight deserved to win. Yeah.
Why? You got me with that one. That was it. Yeah, that was.
I don't have much to say about that match.
All right, MD, what did you think about that match?
It was okay for what it was. You know what I'm saying? The right person, won the match. To your point, all the times, go back to Eli Drake. Go back to this stuff in TNA. He's always been a heel, always. You know what I mean? They never intended for LA Knight to be a face. It organically happened. So that might be part of it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he just need to learn how to work as a face. I don't think he know how to work as a face. I just think he's going through his motions or his stick, and people like it. You know what I mean? So I think that's part of the thing. But the character is great. But the match was what it is. It's similar to the Sami Zayn Bron Breakker match. It was an okay match, but the most important thing it did was put the strap on a person to propel him forward on his brand. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this match did. A couple of spots, of course, we talked about it on the watch along. That springboard moonsault was crazy. Logan Paul got so much untapped potential. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like Logan Paul, honestly, because his character don't do nothing for me. Logan Paul is an AEW wrestler inside of WWE. You know what I'm saying? I
think that same thing.
Yeah, because he want to do the hot spots. Yeah, hot spot. That's it. You know what I mean? I ain't got no problem with it. But, for me, the character in and of itself don't do nothing for me. You know what I mean? If you really ask me, I think he bought his way into WWE. But that's a whole nother discussion. But that don't take away from his talent, because he's talented as hell. LA Knight, it's going to be interesting to see who they put him up with. He's already been in world title positions and all of that, but this is what he needs to further garner his position on the SmackDown roster. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully you don't lose Sting. You know what I mean? Because title runs tend to do that with people like him.
I got I got a first opponent for him, Carmelo Hayes.
That makes sense. That makes sense. It's a number of people he can face on SmackDown. And hell, Andrade.
I was gonna say,
it's a lot of people that they could put in front of him. Best spot of the match was when he hit that top rope suplex. That looked brutal. It almost looked like a muscle buster.
He turned it into a brain buster midair.
Yeah, that looked crazy. I didn't know. I was like, whoa. But again, the dexterity of Logan Paul is so great. He can do stuff like he can take bumps like that. You know what I mean? And make it look good. So yeah, I mean, it was a good match. The right person won.
Yeah, and Logan Paul is awesome, man. Like of any celebrity that's ever come in, he's picked this thing up. I mean, hell, he's better than a lot of guys just regularly on the roster. Go ahead.
Logan Paul is good in the ring, but like he can't win a match mainly like without doing lucky punch, if that's what it's called, or using brass knuckles. He can't win a match without doing either one of those.
So as she brings that up, it reminds me. The only thing I didn't like is when LA Knight no-sold the brass knuckle punch, because he did hit him with the brass knuckles when he had him draped over the rope and Machine Gun Kelly gave him the knucks. He did hit him, and LA Knight literally just hulked up from it. I love the finish though, the buckshot lariat into the BFT. That was great. The timing on that was perfect. I thought that was a really good spot. This wasn't this match will never be mentioned in best matches of anything. But what this did, you finally got LA Knight a title against a hated heel, somebody that legit is hated in a big spot. So now it's all about the follow-up. Johnny Fair says, I don't get the LA Knight thing. He always seems like he's cosplaying. A lot of people say that he's The Rock and Stone Cold wannabe. I didn't know him in TNA. Like I didn't know the Eli Drake or anything like that. My first
it's the same thing. Same thing.
Okay. Yeah. My first introduction to him was in NXT. Like I didn't know anything about him.
Yeah, it's the same stick. In TNA, he used to have, I don't know. Do you remember the Staples commercials with the little button, the red button?
Yeah.
He used to carry around one of those, and he'll hit it, and it'll go, yeah. It's the same thing.
Wow.
It's the same exact character. Now, real quick, let me throw a conspiracy on you. You know, over the weekend, I believe it was Friday, Logan Paul tweeted out something about that Olympic boxer, and everybody was up in arms about it because he was saying that was it. Just by chance, we gonna play hypothetical. Do you think? Because a lot of people are saying that's why he had to drop the title. I don't believe that, but just for the sake of I don't. A lot of people have been saying that online.
Absolutely not. I think this was always the plan for him to lose it at SummerSlam. Because
I agree.
Look at it this way: had LA Knight not won here, he might as well just get off our TV. Because I mean, that means that he would have never won a big match. Never.
Right.
And then why do I care? And then he's just a lovable loser. Yeah, I don't think that had anything to do with it at all. That boxer, that. So I guess he was against he was probably against her, huh?
Yeah. He tweeted, him and his brother tweeted out something saying that was a guy and his brother, I think Jake Paul's his name.
Yeah.
Tweeted out, he said that the other boxer could come over to a league that he was creating, and but that, like I said, I just wanted to throw the conspiracy out there because people have been talking about it.
Yeah, I don't think.
So let me ask you, when the next time you think we see Logan Paul, do you think he's gonna take some time off or?
Yeah, and the Saudis seem to love him. He'll probably get his way in there against Bron, against Gunther at some point. He'll he'll finagle his way in somewhere, but I think he's going to take a break because he literally was showing up on every show weekly, and that's not where he's best at. You don't need to see him on a weekly basis. Like, he should still be, they pull him out, every now and then. I know his contract, I think there's a couple years on it, so you don't need to see him weekly. I think what's the next event is Bash at Berlin. You won't see him there. Then you got Bad Blood. We may not see him again until Survivor Series.
Yay.
Yeah. That's what I say. Probably Survivor Series.
Yeah. Survivor Series may be the next time that we see him because he's phenomenal, man. Hell, I wouldn't mind him popping up in NXT for a while. I mean, he's the guy. The guy is awesome. So let's get into probably my least favorite match of the night, and this was disappointing that it was my least favorite match because I thought this match was going to cook, but it just seemed to me, and Johnny Fair, you could attest to this because you were in the building. Why was the crowd so quiet for this match? You have for the WWE Women's title, you have Bayley taking on Nia Jax. What you had on this match first, little mama?
It wasn't that good.
It wasn't that good.
I'd rather see Tiffany and Stratton cash in. That would have been better.
You'd rather see Tiffany Stratton cash in. All right. MD, what you had on this match? I just thought this match never got out of first gear until the end. So after the cash in tease is when the match finally picked up. So what was your thoughts on this match? Yeah,
it did nothing for me except for the fact that Nia won. That pretty much it. I don't know, man. I don't think that the styles clashed right. You know what I mean? That belly to Bayley she hit on Nia Jax looked horrible. I'm like, you expect me to believe that you're gonna get the pinfall off that? Nah, it ain't happening. The power bomb looked cool. It looked okay. It was stagnant until Stratton came out. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? That got a pop. But I mean, everybody clearly the play was made already on SmackDown, so you knew what was what. I didn't think for a second that Tiffany Stratton was going to betray Nia and cash in now. It just didn't make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Her cashing in to go beat up to have to fight Nia would be good.
So
right. Go ahead.
On the point of the cash in, they put that briefcase on sale Friday night before the day before SummerSlam.
So, I didn't know that.
Yeah. $130.
What?
Wow.
So they weren't going to let her cash it in right away. So I want let me see. Bone says, when does Tiffy time cash in? I don't think Tiffy's going to cash in right now, because you know why? Because let me tell you what I think is going to happen, and this is the mistake that WWE made. I said this WrestleMania time that Damage Control was going to turn on Bayley, and that was going to bring the hugger Bayley back. The only Bayley that works is the hugger Bayley. If you had the hugger Bayley versus Nia Jax, this match would have been fantastic, because one thing that Bayley does in that character, she knows how to fight from behind, and she knows how to pull the drama and the sympathy from the fans. Had they, Damage Control beat her down, she came back as the hugger. Bayley is another one. Just like Sami Zayn. To me, the money in them is always chasing the championship. The money to them, to me, is not them winning the championship, which is fine. Just like Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes never was a good champion. He never was a good champion. But Dusty Rhodes was the best chaser of the title. And sometimes that's okay. Johnny says they're selling briefcases, baby. That cash in ain't happening for a grip. Yeah, they're selling them briefcases as $130 a pop, and they're already sold out. And they just went on sale Friday. So, and I don't think she's gonna cash in on Nia. I think she's gonna cash in on Charlotte Flair. I think she's cashing in on Charlotte.
Where do we get Charlotte Flair from?
Because Charlotte is coming back very, very soon.
For what?
Have you seen the videos of Charlotte on Twitter lately? Charlotte is coming back very, very soon, and we're gonna get our blonde versus blonde. You know, WWE loves that.
Here's what I think is gonna happen. I agree with you. She's not gonna cash in on Nia. I believe this is gonna intertwine with the Jade Cargill and Bianca stuff. I think Jade is gonna be the one that takes the strap off Nia at some point. I don't know when, but at some point I think it's gonna be her. It could be in a one-on-one match. It could be in a triple threat with Bianca. I don't know. That's going forward. Bianca and Jade. I think WrestleMania. You know, she'll cash in. She'll win the strap. WrestleMania will get Charlotte Flair and Stratton with Tiffany Stratton as champion.
That's going to be phenomenal. My God, that match is going to be great. That match, Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte. Sign me up right now. That's gonna be phenomenal. What you wanted to say?
Never mind, because you just answered my question. I was gonna say which blondie, because Liv Morgan's blonde, and you said blonde versus blonde match.
So I think you. So I thought the turn for Jade and Bianca was coming Friday.
Never gonna happen.
At that, yeah, you better hope not.
Thank you for my $5.
I thought that Jade. Like you said, slow down. Jade hasn't even had a singles match. I think that turn is coming very soon. But like I said, Bianca's going to be the one to turn heel, because Bianca has been the darling of WWE for so long. And now you have this new person coming in, taking her shine. She's absolutely. We are getting NXT Bianca Belair. Like it is coming. Like,
NXT Bianca Belair was a heel.
She was. Yeah, she was a heel. Yeah, she was a heel. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she was a. Nah, she was a heel. She was a baby face at one match against Shayna Baszler.
I don't know NXT Bianca Belair. I only know the new.
You're missing it. That's how mommy started liking Bianca Belair, because she liked NXT Bianca.
How am I supposed to know NXT Bianca Belair? Because then I never watched NXT. I watched like a couple of old NXT matches. I don't think I ever watched one with her in it. Like I watched Johnny Got whatever his name. Never mind.
Let's just hypothetically say, let's say Royal Rumble. I'll take it that far out. Royal Rumble, Jade Cargill, Nia Jax for the title. Jade Cargill wins, and Bianca is in her corner and just beat the hell out of her. And then Tiffany Stratton come out and cash in.
Oh, so you have Bianca being the reason that Jade, look, man, that'll be great there. Oh my goodness. You talk about some heat.
Yeah. Woo. After winning the title, she gets whooped by Bianca, and then Tiffany Stratton comes out, cashes in. That'll set up both matches. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, WrestleMania, Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair. You can even have Charlotte. I don't even mind if she wins the Royal Rumble again. I don't mind. But that'll set up both matches.
That's a good idea. That is a fantastic idea. I'm just thinking, I don't know if they'd want Jade's title run to be short. That's my whole thing. Because I feel like if they put the title on Jade, they're gonna want it to be, a lengthy title run. I mean, I could be wrong, because again, I don't think she needs a lengthy title run. But I love that idea that Bianca just being the reason why she gets cashed in on the jealousy angle. It always works. The jealousy angle in wrestling always works. It's the greatest thing in the world. It always works. It's tried and true. It's proven. It's just it never fails. I mean, my daughter gonna have a meltdown when that happens, but it'll be all good. I mean,
and I'm gonna go into attack mode.
I mean, my goodness, when I remember when Damage Control came out to attack Bianca, oh my God, she just went into a tantrum, even though Bianca retained the title. But this powerbomb spot was good though, because regardless of what you think, Nia is a big woman, and you know the power that it takes to walk her to the middle of the ring. Bayley is bottom heavy. I never thought of her being like the strongest. So I thought that this was a great spot, but the best sequence to me was the winning sequence when Nia just went God mode on her with the annihilators and was just hitting her with speed and precision. Like she literally just flattened her out like a pancake. I love that ending. What you thought about the finish?
Yeah, that was great. That was great. Like I said, the way it was almost like she was cat-like for a minute. The way she hit that first annihilator and bounced right back up and went right back up to, I said, wow. You know, hey, you wasn't nothing wrong with your knees then. You went right back up. So that was a great spot. And it shows the dominance of Nia. Not Nia, like I said again, I don't see her having this lengthy title run, and I don't really think she needed, but she need to be dominant at least while she has the title. Dominant.
Let's take a second, because just like how we talked about Liv Morgan was terrible, and now Liv Morgan to me is must see. Like Liv Morgan is must see, and her ring work has gotten a lot better. She has far surpassed Alexa Bliss in every way. So we got to extol the virtues of Nia Jax though. Ever since Nia's been back, man, she has been wrecking, B words. Like she has been wrecking them. And it is amazing. Sometimes Bruce Pritchard always says it. Sometimes you got to go away and learn a hole or get a fresh paint of coat or something like that. Nia has been awesome. And I was so happy when she won the title. And what I was glad that she didn't do, she stayed in her heel character. She didn't start crying all over the damn ring that she became champion. Oh my God, I'm so tired of that. Cry in the background. Don't do it out in front of the crowd.
But I will say, she went out and hugged The Rock's mom. Why she's there all the time, I don't know. You know what I mean?
She always there.
Yeah, she did do that, but I ain't got no issue with it. But as far as her ring character, yeah, she ain't get all emotional. You know what I'm saying? She expressed her dominance, and that's exactly what she's supposed to do.
Because I was thinking about this the other day, because people I know Venkat always think that I'm not critical on WWE and stuff, but this stuff kills me because I thought about Bayley versus Sasha Banks at NXT, that phenomenal match that they had when Bayley won the title, and then at the end everybody comes out and they're breaking character and Sasha's in there doing her ugly cry, and I'm like, why? Like, we literally just saw you being the most dirtbag of heels. Why? At WrestleMania, Bianca versus Sasha, before the match starts, they're sitting there crying, sucking it. I know, I get it. The moment is big, but why? You have to realize that you got a heel and you got a baby face. The heel has to be a heel to make me invested in it. Again, somebody like me, I'm invested in the storytelling. I don't so much care about you showing your emotion. We get it. We know the magnitude of the situation, but don't be breaking character out there crying and crap like that. Just stop.
Sasha Banks was the heel in the Bianca Belair versus. Well, she wasn't really breaking character. It was mainly Bianca.
No, Bianca, everybody knows Bianca cries all the time. She cries for everything.
Stop it. I'm going to go in attack mode.
So, well, major props to Nia Jax, man. Again, it's very refreshing to see. She does win the title. I think Bayley, Bayley's another one of those. Bayley just signed a new contract. Bayley is going to be a WWE lifer. and you could always heat her up and everything. But I think Bayley has to go back to the hugger character. That's when she was the most over. She has to go back to the hugger character. She has to. If she goes back to the hugger Bayley and go like on a losing streak and fight from underneath like the hugger Bayley did, watch the fans get behind her. That was, we always said when she came up, that'd be the one character Vince McMahon wouldn't be able to ruin, but he did. He found a way to ruin her. Now they got to rebuild her back up. And I mean, Triple H obviously could do it because her best booking was under him in NXT. So what you got to say?
Hugger Bayley was the one who came out with the like gym headband and the tall bone.
With the wacky, wavy, inflatable tube, man. Yeah, you would love Hugger Bayley.
I remember seeing Hugger Bayley.
But you don't remember heel Bianca?
No, because I don't. How am I supposed to remember that? Wait, was Hugger Bayley on NXT?
Yes.
I don't know how I remember. I don't know. It's really not on the right stuff.
All right, so let's get into the most anticipated match of the card. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. Man, I loved this match.
Amazing.
Go ahead, Princess. What did you think about this match?
So I liked it because how they let Seth Rollins interfere in the match, like how it took him 2 times. It took him forever to get up, like 2K, like WWE 2K24 and 2K23. I said that backwards, but how long it takes for the referee to go. Like he passed 2 times.
So Bone says Punk and Drew was a callback to SummerSlam 97. So that's why I love this so much. CM Punk's tights was a homage to Bret Hart. Seth Rollins' top was a homage to Shawn Michaels. Hell, Drew even looks like Undertaker a little bit. That match, again, sometimes it's best to just go back and look at some old matches. MD, I thought this was phenomenal. Just like Johnny Fair said, they didn't have to do anything in this match. This could have been one of the most basic wrestling matches I've ever seen, but this also could have been one of the best because the story drove this match. This was CM Punk's ego getting the best of him in this match. And this was CM Punk not willing to put Drew away because he can't stop worrying about Seth Rollins. This was just fantastic. Seth Rollins, first of all, comes out looking like a buffoon, like we know him to do. But when they announced him to be the special guest referee, I'm like, oh my God, don't do it. But man, if Seth wasn't in that match, I don't think it would have been as great. Everything he did from throwing his legs up on the ring ropes and just watching them fight outside. And you know what I loved about this? This was a blood feud. How did they start this match? Throwing punches. They didn't come out and do no damn collar and elbow tie-up. They came out throwing punches. They came out acting like these were two people that wanted to just go at it with each other. I didn't even realize this until I watched it back. CM Punk is getting ready for the GTS. He has Drew up for the GTS, and then he stops. And I'm like, what the hell is he stopping for? Seth Rollins has the damn bracelet on. The bracelet that CM Punk, somebody put in the chat earlier, the $1.50 bracelet that Seth Rollins picked up off the ground because CM Punk finally got it off of Drew's arm. Seth puts it back on, and CM Punk is so angry about it that he now goes and attacks the referee, which ends up in the nut shot and costs him the victory. I thought this match was great, MD. What do you have on this?
I agree, man. It was great. Again, furthering storyline. It was awesome. It was awesome. I said this to a friend of mine talking about it. If this match was in AEW, it would have been a bloodbath for no reason. You know what I mean? It would have been a bloodbath. Is it a feud? Yes, it is. But you don't waste a match like this with something like that basically in a culmination. And I don't want to talk about AEW that much, but AEW got a tendency to push a storyline and then have a payoff that essentially stops the storyline. You know what I mean? CM Punk didn't have to do anything in this match. All he had to do was play the role that he was playing, and it was great. It was all ego. You know what I mean? Furthering the dissension between all three of them. Not stopping it by having chairs and tables, and you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't have to have that unless it's the ultimate payoff. It's got to be, okay, this is where the angle ends. And of course we know this angle is not ending. One
thing just to your point, MD. I love that you said that they didn't bleed, because remember, I was saying at the beginning he needs to bust Punk up, but guess what? Next month they got a pay-per-view called Bad Blood. That's where he gonna bust him up in the steel cage.
Right. It makes sense.
The Hell in the Cell. That's where it's again. Sean and versus Bret Hart versus Undertaker. In that match is the reason the Hell in the Cell match was created, because Shawn Michaels costing Undertaker the title. That was the reasoning for the Hell in the Cell. People you just don't understand storytelling, man. It makes you so invested. MD said it perfectly. Punk didn't have to do nothing in this match. He didn't do anything. He didn't do a damn thing in this match, but get beat up, do some offense, and worry about a bracelet. And it was the most over thing on the card. Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, like I said, as far as like pushing the story, this was great. Now I am hearing reports that Seth Rollins may have re-aggravated his injury. And, we're going to have to see how that play out. That was the reason why, and I know we're not talking about Raw, but again, we going to
go there, because I was going to talk about that next.
Oh yeah. So I'll just say, reports that I'm seeing might have suggesting that he may have re-aggravated that leg, and that was a way to like get him off TV for a while. So hopefully it ain't nothing too big, because he's definitely gonna be needed for this. So we'll see.
So I don't think they need him for this anymore. And let's get into what happened on Raw. So CM Punk comes out. So we know CM Punk ended up losing this match because he put Drew down from the go to sleep. Drew hit him with the nut shot and then ended up pinning him. Seth Rollins had to count the 1, 2, 3. So we know that's what happened. CM Punk lost. And what I like about this, CM Punk ain't no politician. It's like, at least not now. He understands how you got to do business now. So don't cry that Drew has to beat you at SummerSlam. So what? You'll get a win. You'll get a win in there, at some point. CM Punk comes out. He calls Drew out for a fight at Raw. Drew's up in the crowd, but Seth Rollins comes out. Now Seth Rollins wants to. You want to say something?
Okay, so CM Punk's getting mad about a bracelet. A kid can remake that bracelet for him. So if he loses it, he can just get a kid to make a bead bracelet for him.
So I get what you're saying, but let's look at it this way.
I know all the memories on it.
You gave me, let's just think of everything you've given me for Father's Day. So the first Father's Day card that I have is my favorite Father's Day card. If I lose that, or if anything happens to it, you could go find the same card and do it again, but it wouldn't
have all the memories.
Yeah, it wouldn't have the same sentimental value. So that's what's going on there.
Remake the memories.
Yeah, that's easier said than done sometimes. CM Punk comes out and Seth, and they're facing like they're gonna fight. And the funny thing about this, Drew McIntyre still ended up leaving with the bracelet. That's the crazy part about it.
Yeah, he took it back off for him after he pinned it.
The most over thing in this match is the damn bracelet. Like, that's crazy. And so So CM Punk goes to follow Drew into the crowd. Seth turns around and big Bronson Reed, who earlier told Adam Pearce, legit made a lot of sense. He's like, hey, I beat Sheamus last week. How come he has a match and I don't? And he says, okay, I see that I'm going to have to start taking things in my own hands. Who knew that the thing he's taking in his own hands was to obliterate Seth Rollins? And what proceeded to happen was the greatest way to make a monster heel in like 5 minutes as he destroyed Seth Rollins, a la Big Van Vader destroying Gorilla Monsoon on Monday Night Raw after SummerSlam. Nonetheless, he hit 6 tsunami splashes on Seth, with the blood coming out of the mouth. MD, I thought that was tremendous. Like, that was worth the price of admission right there.
Yeah, it's crazy how you can have a situation right like that. And Bronson Reed is over right now. All I'm seeing on social media is that. Again, Bronson Reed that's another guy. You got to find a way to get him more time. Like, you just got to do it. You know what I mean? If I got to take Seth being off for a little while and get a dominant Bronson Reed, I'm okay.
You know what?
We'll see how it goes.
So Johnny's saying if Seth is hurt, he's still going to be able to contribute. This angle is so hot, he doesn't need to get physical. They can ride Seth and Punk with promos all the way to Mania. Yeah, that's absolutely going to be the Mania match. Say what you was going to say before I make my point. You forgot. All right, let me know when you're ready to come back to. Go ahead.
So it got crazy when Seth Rollins started coughing up blood. That was just crazy.
Hey, I love that, but the fans is sitting there talking about one more time. I tell you, wrestling fans ain't worth a damn. Bronson Reed got so over. They have the ability right now. We talked about Mark Henry at the beginning. With what Bronson Reed did to Seth Rollins, if Seth Rollins is off TV until Bad Blood, let him be off TV until Bad Blood. We don't need to see him again. And then when they do have the match, Bronson Reed needs to destroy him. What they need to do right now with Bronson Reed is put him on a Hall of Pain run. He needs to do the best Mark Henry was the Hall of Pain Mark Henry. I hated so much that he got hurt because that Hall of Pain run was the best thing he ever did leading up to him beating Randy Orton at Night of Champions for the belt. Like that, and then the promo afterwards was just absolutely fantastic. But Bronson Reed right now needs to go on a Hall of Pain run. Even if they got to bring jobbers back, hell, bring James Ellsworth in and have him destroy him. They got it to a point now where he is so over because of one night that they got to ride this momentum and have him destroy everybody. And I wouldn't really have him destroy the roster per se. I'd have him just have him bring in enhancement talent and just destroy them in squash match until Seth Rollins can come back and be like, hey, he comes back for the save. And then you end up having the match. So if I'm Bronson, Bronson should be killing a different person every week. He absolutely should. He should be destroying these guys. So what'd you think about that, MD?
Yeah, I agree, man. Yeah, this is the time now to build him. You know what I mean? You got the OMG moment with him doing what he did to Seth. Now he's in the spotlight. So now you ain't got to do nothing huge. Just feature him. Like he needs to have a match every week, literally every week. Like I said, and again, you can bring in enhancement talent. That's fine. You know what I mean? Give him the treatment where hell, give him 2 people.
Yeah.
The local talents. You know what I'm saying? Just feature them. Like they did Braun Strowman. Just feature them. That's all you got to do.
What do you think about bringing back enhancement matches? So I'm getting ready to do another 5 count, like the top 10 jobbers of all time. I just think they're sorely needed. Like I think they're so needed.
They're there to build the guy up. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're there for. I mean, that's classic wrestling at the end of the day. So I mean, yeah, I ain't got no issue with it because I know what and especially if you feature them in a way where it's just total domination.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. If you do that, I ain't got no issue with it. What's the point of weekly TV having a featured person versus a featured person every week? You don't need that. You need to build new characters, and this is the opportunity to do it.
The best thing they used to do back in the day was have the squash matches, and then you'd build up to a Coco Beware or a Virgil or somebody like that to then squash them. You know what this reminds me of? And I heard somebody say this on Twitter. Do you remember when Yokozuna destroyed Hacksaw Jim Duggan and draped the American flag over him, and he was bleeding out the mouth and everything? That's how great this was. That's legit how great this was. So, but let's get into my match of the night. And so I do want to say this. I love the placement of this match. I actually probably would have main evented the show with this match if it wasn't for the return. I love the placement of this match because too many times since they brought this world title in, they had it open shows or they put it in the middle of the card. They put this in the co-main event spot. If you watch a UFC fight, if a UFC card has 2 championship fights on it, you got one main event and then you have the co-main. Both belts headline the show. So it's not like you got the damn co-main second, curtain jerking. You had to make this title relevant. And I'm gonna say something at the end of this review that is gonna shock everybody. We have for the world title Damian Priest taking on the 2023 Wrestler of the Year, according to the Wrestling with Reality cast, Gunther, the ring general. I thought this match, when I say I want a big beefy son of a bitch match, that's what this was. I thought this match was phenomenal. This Damian Priest was an absolute star in this match. Like, y'all know Gunther to me is just the best wrestler on the planet because I love that old school style. I got nothing. The only criticism of this match I got is Damian Priest rolling Gunther under the ring. That it was easier for Finn to put his leg on the rope. They should have worked to that a different way where it wasn't so blatant that he rolled him over under the rope, closer to the rope, so you could do that. But besides that, man, the brutality of this match, Priest destroyed Gunther's chest. I mean, Gunther was bleeding from the chest. How many times do we see Gunther brutalize his opponent where now it was the other way around? I thought this match was fantastic. What you got, Princess?
The betrayal is the best part.
The betrayal is the best part.
Just the way that Finn Balor put his leg up. Like you said, the roll was obvious. But the look that Finn gave after, just like...
They can't see you as a visual medium.
Whatever.
So
he looked like he's a cool guy.
Yeah, the look. So here's the look. Finn just gave the most devious look, and we're getting old NXT Finn Balor back. I'm 100% on board with that. MD, what did you just think about this match overall?
Yeah, it was a match of the night, man. It was a match of the night. Hard hitting. I'm talking about hard hitting. And these are the type of matches we need to see Damian Priest in more. I think,
Yes.
I think his persona justifies this type of match. You know what I'm saying? And Gunther was the right person to give it to him. You know what I mean? It ain't too much I can say. Again, the whole thing with the putting the leg on the rope, I just think it was bad placement. Both of them know better. They should have put that spot where it's supposed to be. But I mean, it's little to perceive in the match as a whole. Again, forwarding storyline, and to me, this is going to end up being probably one of the best storylines coming out of SummerSlam, and I'm just so happy for fans. You know what I'm saying? Like he need this because he's been in obscurity for so long that he's like, bro, like he needed this bad. I saw a lot of people, and I'm glad you put that up. I saw a lot of people complaining about the sleeper. I'm like, bro,
MD, I'm sorry, you beat me to it. I was gonna. I love this so. My God, I love him winning with a sleeper.
I'm like, bro, he's the ring general, bro. Like that's literally what he do. So I mean, that's man, he's too big to be putting people in sleep. I'm like, bro, come on, man. Right, wrestling is wrestling at the end of the day. If you're a connoisseur of wrestling, you should appreciate it. So I don't know what the hate is about with the sleeper. That's just dumb to me. But yeah, like the match of the night.
I don't know if you ever heard Paul Heyman say that he had a plan to give Mark Henry a headlock, and he said that headlock would have got over had they done it. Wrestling, Ric Flair did a figure four that he never beat anybody with. I can't remember Ric Flair ever beating anybody with the figure four. Who used to do a sleeper hold? That Brutus Beefcake used to always win with a sleeper hold. A sleeper hold is a legit wrestling move where it cuts your circulation off and it passes you out. He beat Damian Priest. He choked him out. Hell, the last UFC card just ended. The main event ended with a choke out. That is a devastating move. And the fact that you got a guy so big like Gunther and he wraps it, he puts you in a body vice on top of it. So it's not just a regular standing sleeper. He puts you in a body vice. Man, I love this. When he beat him with a sleeper hole, and because again, you know why? Because you get Bret Hart versus Stone Cold, where Stone Cold doesn't give up, but he passes out from the pain. The pain is just too much. He passes out. So you don't get the visual pin, but you don't get him quitting either. He just passed out. He couldn't take it anymore. And why not? Gunther had that thing cinched in. He just couldn't take it anymore. I thought Gunther wasn't going to win just because you had the Bash at Berlin coming up. I thought they were going to hold it off to then, but I am 1,000,000% on board with this.
You didn't think the Finn turn was going to happen that night either.
Yeah, I didn't think the Finn turn was going to happen then. I just thought because I had Gunther winning that Bash at Berlin, so I thought that's why they weren't going to do any of this. I'm not against them doing it because again, y'all know Gunther. Listen, what I'm about to say after this. To me, hey, Gunther talks about prestige in wrestling. Listen to what I'm about to say. Hold on. What else you had? Hold on. She went.
Okay,
put the mic to him out.
I like how because this is from Raw. I like how they actually went back and saw how Randy Orton's arms were on the mat.
See, so she jumping the gun, then she pulling the Van Cat on me. It's all good. All right. You got anything left on this match though before we go to Raw? MD, you got anything else left on this before we go to Raw?
No, go ahead.
So Gunther comes out for his championship celebration, looking fantastic. The belt looks like it was made for him. Literally that belt looks like it was made for him, and it just fits perfectly on him. Gunther comes out and he's like, oh, I'm gonna bring prestige to the title, and who's next and blah blah blah. Randy Orton comes out looking gigantic, like he ate Randy Orton. They're saying he's almost 300 pounds. I can't believe that. But I was listening to Busted Open Radio today, And Bully Ray said that he saw Randy Orton and he is every bit of what they say he is. Like he just got gigantic. Like you friggin' see Randy Orton, the man looks like a monster. Randy Orton comes out to the ring and everybody's like, oh my God, here go WWE just shoehorning people in. But Randy Orton said, continuity, all I tell you to make it make sense. Randy Orton said that you won the King of the Ring, but you wouldn't have won if it wasn't for me. He said the referee's decision is final, but everybody knows that my shoulder wasn't on the mat. And Triple H knows it. So once he name dropped the boss, it makes all the sense in the world. And he told Gunther he is his next opponent at Bash in Berlin. So Bash in Berlin, you're getting Gunther versus Randy Orton, and this absolutely should main event the show. And here's my hot take, my controversial hot take. Gunther being champion is now going to elevate the world title over the WWE title. There it is.
What, I agree with that, at least for now, because I know we're not talking about SmackDown, but the Cody situation now is null and void because Roman is back. Yeah. So I agree with that 100%. Like that overrides anything Cody, and hell, Cody probably be involved in it. I'm sure Cody will be involved in it. So yeah, that definitely overrides anything Cody does from now, at least to Survivor Series. It's gonna nullify it. So I agree with you 100%. This is the number one title right now.
Yeah. This is and listen to me, y'all. Y'all put your ears close to the mic, to the speakers. This is the number one title in all of wrestling. Come get me. This is the number one title in all of wrestling because the ring general has it. Can you imagine the run he's getting ready to go on? He's going to beat Randy Orton, which he should. Damian Priest has to get a rematch. He's going to beat him, which he should. He's getting Sami Zayn. So he got Sami Zayn. He has Sheamus. He has oh my God, I can't wait till him and Ilya Dragunov go at it. Gunther should have at least a year reign where he's just having bangers, classic after classic. Man, this guy, everybody thought that Vince McMahon was going to ruin this guy. Luckily, when he came up, then all his stories about Vince came out, so Vince couldn't get his grubby hands on him, and Triple H does right by him. This man is the modern day. I see Johnny Flair saying that he's the modern day Johnny Valentine. Gunther is a throwback to when wrestling was great, and I love it now. But man, he is a throwback to when wrestling was great, and you need a champion like this that doesn't do all the high flying. I don't need to see 100 450 splashes and all that crap. You've seen it once, you see it twice. You don't need a million super kicks. This man beats the hell out of you with ground and pound. Can you imagine if Gunther has ran through the roster and he's like, there's nobody left, I'm the greatest champion, and you hear the first chords of Brock Lesnar's Here Comes the Pain? Because they still got to do that match. We still got to get Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. I'm getting excited here, man. Yeah, Johnny saying the world title will be the workers' belt. The world title is now elevated over everything now. And y'all know how I feel about Cody Raheem Rhodes, but he's going to be second fiddle now. And a lot of that is because Roman's back. Because now with Roman being back, the Roman Reigns return got over 100 million views on it.
I can't wait to talk about that match. I have a lot to
That's
say. Crazy.
Like 100 million views just to see Roman come back. It's crazy. The same guy that everybody couldn't wait for him to leave. Now he's back. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say like who else are you gonna put in front of Cody right now? And excluding the Bloodline member.
You want to know who else?
Yeah. Who that?
KO. Kevin Owens.
Oh yes.
Yeah, because you gotta have him doing something.
Kevin Owens gonna turn on him. Because Kevin Owens could use the excuse like, hell, every time I come to save you, I get my ass kicked.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I did see the
just don't
Roman
see
Reigns
Cody.
belt.
I don't see Cody going away from the bloodline. So that's why I say, yeah, you're right. You know, Cody's tied up right now. Whereas Gunther, like he's going to expand the legitimacy of the world title to a point where it's going to supersede the WWE title. That's a fact.
Cody Rhodes' next opponent has to be KO, because since Randy Orton's working with Gunther, like going against Gunther, Cody Rhodes has to go against another person that he works with.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's gonna be KO. If they got the balls, I would turn KO. And they're still gonna get the Randy Orton versus Cody. You're still gonna get that. That's probably gonna be the Royal Rumble match or the Survivor Series match, because Survivor Series main event is gonna be the Bloodline, the Civil War games. So that's what that's gonna be. Cody versus Randy Orton is still absolutely on the table, but I would heat KO up right now. If I'm looking on the roster, KO is the one that I just be like, hey, bro, every time I come to save you, I get destroyed. And as simple as that, just simple as that. I do have a picture of the Judgment Day up here just because I want to just extol their virtues for a little bit, because Judgment Day for over 2 years has been the number one faction on Raw, and they have been great. The way it started out at first with Edge, you thought like, oh boy, this is going to be terrible. These guys are going to get fired, but they have found a way to heat it up. Adding Rhea and Dom is absolutely just a heat magnet. Judgment Day is awesome, man, and I'm so happy that they're giving it a new coat of paint, and they're gonna run for however long. And now they got an angry Rhea and an angry Damian Priest on their heels. So they're gonna, I think it's gonna be great.
Hey, I totally agree, man. Like Judgment Day is hot right now, based off those turns, based off what Liv is doing. Like I said, Dom. Hey, man, I gotta agree with you, bro. Van Cat, I know you listen. You say whatever you want to say about Dom, bro. He is that guy.
Yes,
he is that guy. Just think about it, man. I'm gonna put it this way: every mark that goes to any WWE show wants to be in Dom's shoe, whether it was with Rhea or now with Leah. Bro, he got the hottest angle, possibly, definitely on Raw, possibly in all of WWE. And that's just what it is. You can say whatever you want to say about his work rate, how he wrestles, cool. That's fine. But I know when he steps through them curtains, it is what it is. Some of them guys in the back wish they had the heat that Dom got.
Yes, I tell Venkat that all the time, and he swear is manufactured. It is legit heat. Like this guy get legit heat. It's crazy. It's legit. Man, Dirty Dom, man, Dirty Dom. Whoever thought that we'd be so crazy about Dirty Dom? So what was your last? You had something else you want to say before we move on? Huh? You forgot. All right, let me know when you come back. So Miz was the host of the show. Miz comes out, and they got to do the announcing of the attendance. So I went to WrestleTix before the show started because I wanted to see what WrestleTix was going to say. So WrestleTix had it at the setup at 56,665. And they said that the tickets distributed was 55,858 with 807 available tickets. WWE announced 57,791. Now, they announced more because that's just what WWE does. What surprised me is that they didn't say 60. I was saying like, man, they're going to announce like 65. They're going to say 60 at the very least. So the fact that they only went like less than 2,000 over shocked the hell out of me. I mean, still a great number. Johnny Fair says he was in the building, so I could just imagine how it still was a great number. I know Van Cat was trying to hate like he normally does, and he was talking about how you had Empty in the corner. I mean, when WrestleMania was when WrestleMania was down here, 10 years ago in Dolphins. I mean, Dolphin Stadium is huge. You ain't gonna fill every single seat. Like it's crazy but for them to put 55, 56, 57,000 in a NFL stadium. So he says they had the hard cam upper deck tarped off. Other than that, the place was packed. So so that's probably why it was tarped off. Because they had to have that part, tarped off. But
it ain't AEW hard cam. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh my God. I be watching some AEW things. I'm like, man, what is like 2 people in the damn building? That's crazy. So the one thing I didn't like though, I didn't like how it looked in the daytime. When it got nighttime, that's when it started feeling like a wrestling show. I'm never a fan of the daylight shows. Like when it's just broad daylight out there, I don't like how it looks on TV. It doesn't come off. To me, it doesn't look good. I rather when the lights are turned down on the audience and you could do your pyro and all that. Well, what did you think it looked like?
I didn't have an issue with the look. To me, it was the sound. I don't know what WWE is doing when they run these stadium shows, but the way they got the sound set up, like coming into TV, it just don't sound good. And that might not be their fault. That just might be, just from the stadium acoustics or whatever. And I think that's the issue with a lot of these stadium shows. I remember back in the day, like for instance, if we talk Wembley Stadium, when they did SummerSlam in Wembley, it sounded incredible.
Yeah,
you would have thought it was 100,000 people. You know what I'm saying? But for whatever reason now, when WWE runs, and like I said, All In was the same issue. When they run these stadium shows now, it's just like the sound comes off terrible, like on screen. Not for the people that's there. I'm pretty sure it sounds incredible with the people, but on TV, it just don't sound right. And that's for everything. That's for the music. That's for the crowd. No, that's for everything. So I don't know exactly what they could do about it. But that's just a pet peeve of mine. And speaking of All In, hell, that's what, couple of weeks?
August 25th. I just looked it up because I wanted to make sure we didn't miss it. It's August 25th. Johnny says Brown Stadium is a dump. We just announced the dome being built in 2029 today. So
wow.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, because I got the same thought though. Like when these stadiums, it just is. I know Stone Cold used to say that the noise goes up, and whereas when you're in the dome in the arena, it stays in there and it just fills the arena. It just, I don't know. To me, it just didn't sound. I don't like how it sounds and I don't like how it looks. I know why they run them, because you could put all these people in there. But it just, to me, it just doesn't sound too great. So we had already went over the main event. We did a live watch along, but Lil Mama did have something to say on it. What did you want to say?
The match would have gone perfect if Jacob Fatu didn't get hurt. And when Roman Reigns' music played, Cody Rhodes looked like, oh my gosh, just laying down in the ring. Like, oh my gosh, what's going on?
So to the if you want to add anything to the main event, to Venkat MD, I know we already did a watch along on it, but the only thing I do want to say, she brought up Jacob Fatu. From everything I'm seeing is a work. They purposely did that because they didn't. Okay, so Johnny brings up Solo's not the guy. I definitely want to talk about that because we did have a conversation about that. I got zero problem with Solo. So the Jacob Fatu injury, they're saying was a work. That they did that. They went in there with the intentions of him getting hurt there because they didn't want any interaction with him and Roman, which means they're probably going to have him destroy Roman at some point, and I'm here for it. They need to beat the hell out of Roman. And I can't wait until the reveal comes out that The Rock is the one that's behind all of this. Oh my God, that's going to be so fantastic. But I'm jumping into the future. So from just everything I'm reading, though, they're saying, and I'm reading this from like reputable places. I'm not reading just random guy on the internet. They're saying that it was a work, that he's not really hurt. They just did that to keep him away from Roman. And what would make me almost believe that is there was no throwing up of the X. Because normally, if, storyline be damned, if he really was hurt, they would have had the doctors there. They never brought a doctor out at ringside. It probably would have been better if they did that, but they never brought a doctor out there. They never brought anybody to check on them. So fantastic sell job by Jacob Fatu. But so to Johnny's point, Solo's not the guy. MD, we go back and forth on this. I think Solo is fantastic. I think Solo's not going to be the guy next to Roman. So when you have a guy like Roman Reigns who's just a big presence, then to have a mild-mannered guy like Solo, he's not going to look like the guy. But I think for the character that he's playing the knockoff version. So let me tell you what Solo Sikoa is playing right now. Solo Sikoa is playing the Chrysler 300. Remember, I forget who the comedian was. It's like, boy, them Chrysler 300s look like Rolls Royces until you really see a Rolls Royce. Then you're like, oh crap. So right now he's playing the Chrysler 300 and it's okay. I think Solo is great. He's great for what he is. He's not going to do any high spots. But he slows matches down. The reason I didn't care for this match is because it was a Bloodlines rule, and they didn't do no Bloodline rules until like 10, 15 minutes into the match.
Yeah, exactly.
That was my problem with the match. There was no interference. And then when the interference came, it just come in succession. Yeah. I didn't like that. That was my problem.
It felt like they were going through the motions the way the Roman come out. That's what I didn't like.
Yes, that's exactly what they were doing. Like this whole match, and I knew it was going to suffer from that the anticipation of Roman coming back was going to be so much that the match, they could have done any damn thing in the match and it wasn't ever going to get over. Johnny, I'm curious to see how did that match come over? How did the match come off in the arena, in the stadium? I just think, to me, I like Solo. Like let me see. My problem with the Bloodlines, my problem was it was Bloodline rules match 16 minutes. Yeah. And I agree. I agree with Bones. It took too long to get to the Bloodline rules stuff. There was no weapons, no nothing. Like they literally started the match wrestling, and I hate that. I hate that with a passion. They literally started the match wrestling, whereas in the CM Punk Drew McIntyre match, which was a blood feud, they started the match throwing blows. Big difference. See, Johnny saying everyone kept looking towards the entrance. So that this match would have never got over. They got to get Cody away from this Bloodline stuff. He can't be involved in the Bloodline until him and Roman run it back. He can't. Because as long as you have him involved in this Bloodline stuff, he's gonna be second fiddle every time. He's second fiddle to Roman. Roman is the biggest star in wrestling, all of wrestling, everywhere. It is what it is. So he's gonna always play second fiddle to Roman. So you got to get him away from it. I say that the secret member to fight in the Civil War is going to be Brock Lesnar. I want Brock Lesnar. I just want Brock Lesnar back. That's
the third. Hell, you got Brock Lesnar booked in 3 matches. You got him booked with Gunther. You got him booked with the Bloodline, and you got him booked with Braun Breaker.
Man, hey, because he's still under contract, man. You got to use him. You gotta. So Johnny saying Cody needs a little bit of a change, nothing big. Just I agree with that. I agree with.
But how you gonna change him though? The thing is Roman gonna be on weekly TV? If he is, then yeah, you can get him.
No.
Well, if he's not, then you're gonna have Cody. And that's the problem.
No, I think when he says a change, though, I mean just like a little tweak of the character.
Oh, okay. I don't think Cody is gonna get out of this angle until Roman comes on weekly. It's gonna be Cody. That's just what it is.
Yeah, they gotta get him. They gotta get him away from it. And I think he needs a heel that people are gonna care about. Nobody cared about Solo, which was very disappointing because I don't like the fact that everybody was saying how good Solo was when Roman was there, and they're like, oh yeah, I can see him. You remember there was talks that Solo was gonna be the one to take the belt off of Roman, and now all of a sudden nobody likes Solo anymore. Like that's crazy to me. I just think
they like the enforcer role. That's what they liked.
And it doesn't help that he got a guy like Jacob Fatu standing next to him. Like, oh my man, Jacob Fatu is just friggin' fantastic, man. I don't know, man. And he when he went and got himself in shape. I can't wait until the interaction with him and Roman. I just cannot wait for it. So what do you think? How long do you think they're gonna play off on this injury?
Hopefully I can see him coming back somewhere just before SummerSlam. Just before Summer. I mean, not SummerSlam, Survivor Series. Because you got to have him survive. You got to. So, if it is, like I said, when I first saw it, initially I thought it was the knee. But, I went back and looked at it, and I was like, yeah, he was holding his ankle. And I even seen a picture somebody posted. He was like in a convenience store or something with a walking boot.
Yeah, because he lived the gimmick.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, if it is a play, I guess you can hold off until the build up of Survivor Series. That don't do nothing for Jacob Fatu, you know what I'm saying? But but I mean, I guess we're supposed to proceed. Well, I mean, I guess the high IQ wrestling fan know what Jacob Fatu can do.
Yeah,
and essentially, he's in Solo's role from OG Bloodline. So I mean, you can hold off. Ain't no big deal. Ain't no big deal. But you got to have him for Survivor Series.
And Jacob needs to be the one to destroy Roman. He needs to destroy Roman Reigns. I mean, he needs to put the beat down on Roman Reigns because honestly, that's what everybody wants to see, Roman versus Jacob. So he needs to destroy Roman. And when Roman comes back Friday, because Roman will be there Friday. Well, if they're going to sell the injury, nobody knows what he's going to do. But if at some point Jacob needs the bloodline period just needs to destroy Roman. That's what it needs to be. And I don't think the tag titles are in any anything because they could just freebird rule them. You got Tama and Tongaloa and Tama Tonga to freebird rule the title. So okay, here's the thing. What about Solo going after LA Knight for the US title?
I mean, I don't see how you can uncouple anything that the bloodline is doing outside of what's happening now. I mean, I guess you could do that. I don't think it will happen because I mean, yeah, LA Knight. See, with LA Knight, I think you need to slow walk his title run. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to make sure that you maintain the aura that LA Knight has. Putting him with Solo, I don't think will do that. Because then you just put all the onus on Solo. So you could try it. But again, I don't know. We have to wait to see what happened on Friday. I have a better understanding of where they're going to go depending on what Roman say. So we'll see. We'll see. I just don't see how you can get Solo out of anything but bloodline stuff. And especially with Roman. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see.
I did want to show off my my Funko Pop. Hold on, let me get out of this. I didn't want to show off my Funko Pops. I got Undertaker and Vader. Yeah, I'm a nerd. So so overall, what do you give SummerSlam? I thought SummerSlam was great. What do you give SummerSlam overall?
I give it a 4. Like I said, there weren't any matches that you're gonna write home about. But as far as the storytelling, this might be the best PLE that they've had as far as pushing storylines ahead all year. You know what I'm saying? This might be it. So I give it a solid 4.
Yeah, I agree with you. I give it a 4 just because to me, man, I feel like I've been saying this two to three shows in a row now. The main event needed to have another gear. Like the main event should have been just a 10-minute ass kicking fest. Like they should have just went in there and just went balls to the wall and just did their thing. But they didn't. So I got to give it a 4. But I'm looking at this unbiased. The last thing I did want to talk about before we close out. What did you? So I was so afraid, so afraid of what the Wyatt 6 would look like in the ring. The presentation with the videos and the entrance and everything was fantastic. But I'm like, oh my God, they got to get in the ring. And I was so scared. But this past Monday, they made their in-ring debut against American Made, what they're calling them. It's a terrible name. Chad Gable and the Creed brothers. What did you think of the Wyatt 6's in-ring debut?
I think it was pretty good, and I agree with you. Why they not steal the Alpha Academy, which is Chad Gable's stable? I don't know, but yeah, I think they look good. Joe Gacy showed out. I think people are gonna, because I mean, if you're not the regular WWE viewer, a lot of people don't know Joe Gacy. I think Joe Gacy got the spotlight put on him. You know what you get out of people like Eric Rowan and Dexter Lumis. To me, the standout with Joe Gacy. Point blank period. You know what I mean? So we'll see how it goes from here on out. With I guess you would say Sister Abigail and Uncle Howdy on the outside. I'm more interested to see what they're gonna do with Nikki Cross. And with her, what I'm saying?
She's not Sister Abigail.
Well, I don't know.
She's playing Abby the Witch.
Oh, Abby the Witch. That's right. Abby the Witch. Yeah.
I still think Sister Abigail. I still think is going to be Alexa Bliss.
Oh yeah, we'll see. Oh, I saw something earlier today too. She redid her tips on the hair pink, so they saying they playing into it. So we'll see. But I'm more interested to see what they're gonna do with Nikki Cross, because like she got dealt a bad hand. Because I think Nikki Cross is fantastic. You know what I'm saying? It's no female on the roster that does what Nikki Cross does as far as like that character. So it'll be fun to see. We'll see how it goes. But like I said, to me, Joe Gacy was a standout.
Hey, this comment crazy. Why did YMD sound like a barber in Coming to America that bumped into Martin Luther King? You ready?
Cause I'm from the South, and that's how they sound.
Oh my goodness!
I can't help that.
Hold on, So yeah, I thought the in-ring debut was good. I never thought we'd live in a world where fans would be actively cheering for Eric Rowan. But you love to see it. I hate that it was against Chad Gable and the Creed brothers. I just wish it was anybody else but them. But I hope that this is over with them. What I do love though is that they're not playing into the supernatural stuff. They're just saying like, hey, we're some people that were overlooked, and we're some people that were dealt a bad hand, and we're outcasts, and we're tapping into the spirit of Bray Wyatt to get us ahead. I'm fine with that. I'm 100% fine with that. I thought their in-ring looked good. It was it was real good to actually see Dexter Lumis do some work. But Joe Gacy is awesome, man. I loved him in NXT. I always said that he was going to be like a Bray Wyatt character, so it's crazy to see him doing this. So yeah, I had zero problem with it. I don't need to see them on TV every week though.
Yeah. As long as Uncle Howdy is pushing the message, you'll be all right. Hey, real quick, what you think about Odyssey Jones?
Oh my goodness! I mean, Odyssey Jones been drafted 2 years in a row. So finally, again, here we go back to storytelling. I love the story that they're running with. You saw the backstage interview where where Woods was like, "Oh man, what's up? How you knew him?" And Kobe was like, "Oh yeah, when I was healing at the PC, I ran into him, and he said that is this a way to bring Big E back, or are they going to have Big E co-sign Odyssey Jones as a new member of the New Day? Because he had on a New Day shirt."
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Like I'm just glad to see him, get featured. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that double sidewalk slam spot was tight.
On those two, AOP is not small. AOP is two big dudes, and he sidewalk slammed both of them. Great. I mean, when he was in the breakout tournament a couple of years ago, I'm like, man, this big man going to be awesome. And when I saw him come out, I'm like, oh my God, he's still on the roster. So it was really, really good to see him. If Big E could never come back, I wouldn't mind him being like an honorary member as long as they do it right. But I'm very interested to see what this Xavier Woods thing is, because Xavier Woods is like, okay, thanks for the save, but and again, man, WWE right now is on fire with this storytelling, and they're making money hand over fist. The wrestling business is hot right now. It is. It's on fire.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. So yeah, we'll see how everything plays out. Like I said, I'm just glad that WWE is in a good place right now, because again, like I think with the shift with AEW is in a bad place, a real bad place right now. We gonna see what after All In, how everything works out, because it's gonna be a great show. Ain't no disputing that. It's just I don't know what they can do on the TV side to be better, because right now, like they in a lull, like a real bad lull.
And speaking of that, the All In, I do plan on, it's a Wembley show, so it'll probably be coming on like 1:00. So I do plan on going live during the main event to do a watch along for Danielson versus Swerve, because I expect that match to be like 10 stars. I expect that to be fantastic. But yeah, I think that's it. We covered Raw and we covered SummerSlam. So hold on, because I think
2 hours and 3 minutes. You'll never get that with Mackin. Never.
Yeah. Hey, and then take out for the 5-minute intro. So we still under 2 hours. Hold on, let me get. Yeah, she want to close out. So MD, man, I appreciate it, man, for I mean, ain't no filling in because you already a member of the show, but when one man down, we could have rocked the 2-man booth, but the little one wanted to join in, and just like WWE, we rock 3-man booths over here. So what you got coming up? What you got coming up over on MD20?
Tomorrow, God and Government, special time. Thursday, 8:30, we got God and Government to return. Apex, Jeremy Dunbar, myself, we're going to be talking about marriage.
Oh, so, my God.
it should be a good show.
Oh, man, I wanted to come up last night and just wring Jeremy's neck, man. I just, oh my goodness. Jeremy had me just slamming my head into the wall last night. Yeah, man, y'all make sure and check out the MD20. Just fantastic political shows, man, and God and Government is great. If you ever wanted to see what a Christian manosphere person is, tune in tomorrow night. You'll hear them. It's crazy. It is crazy. So yeah, with all that being said, man, Little Mama, you want to go and give your close out, thank the people, and just first put my team out, then just thank the people for coming out, and
Everybody watching, like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you never miss a live or a video.
There you go. That's
there
it.
It is.
That's there it is. That's the best. That's the best you can do, man. So to producer extraordinaire Venkat, hope you get better, man. We here holding it down for you. Y'all make sure and check out Take Fist Politics from last night. Fantastic show. Top three.
Hey, real quick. Preseason week 1, Falcon Dolphin.
That's tomorrow. That's Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. NFL
we got the joint practices going on down there.
Yeah, they've been getting into fights and stuff. Yeah, it's just yeah, they've been getting into fights. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not looking too much for this preseason game 1. I don't need to see Tua in there at all.
Oh yeah, that won't happen. Yeah, you gonna see minimal starters. Yeah,
they may have him in for like one series, but that's about it. I don't need to see him. Yeah, let's keep him all right. We'll get him in for game 3 and we'll be okay. But yeah, man, I'm excited, man. It's Super Bowl or bust this year. It's Super Bowl, and I agree, Johnny. AEW All In is going to be I think it's going to be a great show. It's going to be fantastic. I'm spoiled because I like these 5 match cards, and AEW going to give me like a 14 or 15 match card, which is going to be like, ugh. But hey, real quick, MD, before we go, what do you know about this Britt Baker's suspension?
I don't know anything about it, man. Bro, AEW has been the last thing on my mind for like the past couple of weeks.
Yeah,
like it's just I ain't into it. I just even with the matches that we gonna get at All In, like I'm literally not motivated, not one bit, to watch Dynamite Collision or anything. I'm just not like it. I don't know what it is. Like it's to me, it's not a product problem. It's a Tony Khan problem. You know what I'm saying?
You know how I feel about him.
Yeah, so I mean, not to drag the show along. I'm glad just to see All In. I'm fine. You know what I mean? I didn't even know until this morning that it was anything going on with Britt Baker. I think I read a little bit about it, but as far as any knowledge of what's going on, I don't know.
Yeah, so just in a nutshell, apparently she was talking crap about MJF. Apparently they used to be real good friends, but she was talking crap, and MJF's girlfriend heard it and went back and told him. So he came back and confronted her. They say he punched the wall before his match with Ospreay, that hour match. I still haven't watched that match yet. I just been so not into them at all. So they suspended her. So I'm very curious to see, like, they suspended her, but not him. Like, what could she have said that got him pissed off like that, or that warranted a suspension, especially that they got her featured in such a big match coming up at All In? I mean, she'll be there at All In. That's not the problem, but they suspended her and not him. So she had to say something like terrible. And I agree, Tony Khan may be a nice guy, but he's not. He's too nice of a guy. He doesn't know how to be a boss. He can't be a boss. He wants to be everybody's friend. And I heard rumors that the Lucha Bros might be WWE bound.
Yeah, I heard that too. That's too. Something about Ray Phoenix done like copyright a bunch of stuff, and like, so he's trying to hold on to whatever. So whenever he make his move, he good to go as far as name recognition.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. She got a history that wasn't a one incident. So he's saying it wasn't a. So I don't know, because I'm not hearing anything that was actually said. But I just figured, like, in a company like AEW, where they basically let the inmates run the asylum, that you suspend her, but not MJF, and he punched the wall. Like, what the hell could she have said to him that got him so mad? And where the hell is Adam Cole, baby? Like, where is he?
Yeah. Does he even have a match at all in?
Man, is he cleared? Like what? I don't know. Man, this is probably going to go down as the biggest bust in their history. And
no Adam Cole versus MJF. Y'all did all that for what? You did the turn for what?
I don't know. That was crazy. They had something there. They got a serious mole in the house. Yeah, they got the mole was Alicia Tout, MJF's girlfriend. She's the one who went and told MJF what was said because she works for the company. So hey, but we'll keep abreast on that. If anything, so normally with the Wrestling with Reality shows, Johnny, just so you know, we do these on a bi-weekly basis. But if anything forces us to have to come back next Wednesday, we will. If not, we'll be back the following Wednesday. I just have to take the temperature of what's going on. Also, 5 Count will be back next week. It's hard doing 5 counts on Mondays because Monday Night Raw isn't over till 11. Then I had to stay up and do it. It's easier to do them on Fridays. So just tune into the channel, man. Like, share, subscribe. Turn on the notifications so you'll know whenever a new show comes out. God and Government on the MD20 is tomorrow. Tomorrow night, I also have a face-off between Peter Cox and Minister Washington. See if they could come up with a debate topic. Pour Your Heart Out will be back this Saturday. I think that's it, man. Tune into the flagship show of the Straight Talk Society, which is Man Talk Monday. We finally came back this week with a bang, and I got another banger planned for this Monday. So y'all tune into the channel. That's where it's at, man. Peace to everybody over on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Peace to Venkat. Peace to the MD20, the political prophet amongst men. We will see you on the other side.
Peace.
Peace. What are we looking for? Well, Straight Talk Society, there you have it. Another fantastic episode of Wrestling with Reality, man. Like I said, just tune into the channel. I don't know if we'll be back next Wednesday, but if not, we'll definitely be back the following Wednesday. It just takes time to, what we want to deal with because we don't necessarily cover the weekly shows. I normally cover the weekly shows in 5 count. I'm not doing 5 count until next week. But tune into the channel, man. There's a lot going on. I got belt reviews. I have top 10 lists on wrestling categories. My latest ones is top 10 wrestlers never to win the WWE title. That was a real good one. Top 10 top WrestleManias, worst WrestleManias. Yeah, man, there's so many different things going on in this channel, man. But hey, with all that being said, I am getting out of here because I do see the clock on the wall. We are running out of time. With all that being said, I leave you with these words. Always seek out the truth for yourself, because if not, you'll fall victim to other people's interpretations of them. For the MD20, for producer extraordinaire Venkat, I am Mr. Straight Talk. We will see you on the other side. Peace!
Now the whole world can acknowledge me.
You'll get the shit. You'll be knee deep in the shit.